Okay, number one, when you're working out at home, you need to protect your back from the floor. So particularly if you have a hard floor and not a carpeted floor, you want to make sure that the mat you're using is thick enough. I'm holding a yoga mat. This is thin. This has been too thin for me whenever I've used it on a hard floor. So if that's the case, if all you have is yoga mat, that's fine. You can double or triple the yoga mat. You want to roll around on it and make sure that your spine is not bumping on the floor. It should feel soft. It is very painful to bruise your spine, so don't let that happen. Make sure it's soft enough. This mat is a foam mat. It's a lot thicker. I think this is a particularly soft mat, so that's nice. I've been known to use towels in hotel rooms and just doubled them up and put them on the hard floor, and that works great too. You really don't need to have a mat. You can use whatever is available to you and just make sure it's padded enough so that you can get down on the floor. I happen to be sitting on a professional mat. You can see this is very soft and foamy. That's great too, but it's not necessary. The next two things we'll talk about are your back and your neck. When you're working on your own, you want to make sure that you're pulling your stomach in enough so that your back is long on the floor. Try this with me. Go ahead and lay down, bend your knees and hold them up like a tabletop, or stretch them straight up to the ceiling. When your legs are up in the air, this will help lengthen your back on the mat. You want to make sure that you're pulling in enough so that this part is long and you really can't get your fingers underneath you. If you can get your fingers underneath you, it means, you'll see my stomach stick out, it means that you're arching your back and you're not pulling in your belly enough, and then that means you might end up straining your back. So it's much safer when you pull your belly in and you keep this long. This is also one of the reasons Pilates is done mostly laying down like this, because we're taking advantage of gravity pressing down on us, and then we're using that to strengthen our abdominals. All right, second, you want to make sure you're keeping your neck safe. So as you're getting started, we'll be doing many exercises where we curl up like this in order to strengthen the upper abdominals and have them connect and strengthen the small muscles of your neck. If at the beginning you have strain in your neck, you want to just lower your head to the mat and continue whatever the exercises you're doing, and then lift your head up when it feels better. If it starts to hurt again, just place your head back down on the mat, continue the exercise, and lift it up when it feels better. Eventually, you'll be able to keep your head up longer and longer, and it won't hurt anymore. But it does take time, so be patient with that. Focus on using your upper abdominals. All right, finally, if you're more advanced or you've been practicing, you already know this because your instructor will have taught you, but you want to make sure that whenever your hips lift off the mat, your neck is nice and long and there's no pillow supporting you, nothing under your neck. You also want to make sure that you don't turn your head to the side if you're lifting your hips off the mat. This twists the small bones of your neck, and it actually can be dangerous because those bones shouldn't be turned when you're putting all the weight of your body over your head. Finally, if you are having a lot of trouble with your neck, you can use a pillow. If it's painful for you to leave your head down all the way like this, using a pillow under your head can be supportive and helpful. You'll know you need a pillow if it feels a lot better to have it under your head. You'll know you don't need it if laying your head down flat feels fine.